Gotta ask you about the stock, the newest in your coverage from last week. Fubo, you initiated it and outperform, gave it a $40 price target. Talk us through that rating.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to hit that today. Fubo is an over the top broadcast television provider, and so the difference there, we typically think over the top being streaming, so we think it's Netflix on demand, whatever you want to watch, you can watch. Fubo is broadcast TV, so it's not on demand when you want it; it's by appointment on demand. So if you're watching, The Masked Singer, you're going to watch that when it's broadcast, period. You can't just pop on anytime and watch this week's episode. It's not archived. So think of it just like linear television, but instead of receiving it through a cable box, you're receiving it through an internet connection. The reason I like it is there are tons of services that do exactly the same thing. It is a commodity service and nobody makes money on the service. But Fubo has sports, which lays on top of them a layer of expense. They have to pay for live sports feeds. Where they're particularly smart is that their sports is not limited to just domestic broadcast. So they have something beyond CBS and Fox playing NFL football on the weekends. They have English Premier League soccer. They have Bundesliga, La Liga. So they have Spanish, Italian, every soccer league. I think just pretty much every professional soccer league. And when they get those minutes from a foreign broadcaster, they don't have to carry the advertising from the foreign broadcaster. So they're positioned to sell advertising into those hours viewed. And that means they make higher advertising revenue than their competitors. Their competitors just haven't figured it out and or don't want to screw around with it. So if you think of Comcast makes $8 per subscriber per month on advertising. Fubo's only at about 6 or 7 right now. They will zoom right past Comcast because they have so much what I'm going to call proprietary content that's not ad supported in the US. And so, the company thinks it's going to $20 per month per user. I have modeled them going from, 6 to 8 to 10 to 12. And even then they get to profitability. So it's actually a pretty interesting play. And the trick's going to be, does the sports offering help them, outperform their peers? Do they capture market share? I think they do. So I have a buy, but it's hard to value because they're not profitable yet. So it's just, slapping a revenue multiple on it, coming up with a number.
Look at that FUBO chart.
What stock?
This is FUBO. This is FuboTv, a
Fubo.
TV streaming
You
service.
find these story stocks, I tell you, man. He finds these stories.
So Fubo's been around, but they just uplisted to the New York Stock Exchange like last week. So, but they've been around. They were on the OTC market.
Okay, I'll be honest. I've never heard of FuboTv. What the hell is FuboTv?
I have. Mitch, explain it.
So it's a streaming TV service, and what they have an advantage in is a lot of sports. They have a lot of soccer that you have access, and they also have the Red Zone, NFL Red Zone. So people got that. They're on Fubo just for Red Zone. And what I think personally is I see this company being bought out in the next year or two or something like that, because the way I think, let's say phone carriers or bigger kind of carriers that provide content are going to be looking for these smaller companies to go ahead and get into TV streaming. I could see a company maybe like T-Mobile being like, we'll offer everybody that we have already a TV streaming service. And that would lift the advantage over even more to a company like T-Mobile. So what do you think about the chart, Joel?
What? Before you even go to the chart, I want to just give some commentary here, because I have been saying that the only reason I keep my cable service is because I want to watch sports. And this all of a sudden is telling me I can stream sports, means I can go cut the cord and get a Fubo TV for $15.99 a month. If I can watch all my sports on this, I would do it. So I love the idea. I like the story here. I've just known about it for the last 3 minutes. I think it's an awesome story. The candle yesterday was pretty good. It's up here again this morning. So if this starts to get, it's only a 700 and, you say it's under $1 billion, $708 million market cap. So you're talking a very small company. It's got the potential to get a story and get hot. Mitch is our story stock guy, and he finds the potential stories before there's stories. Gave us Workhorse at $3. He's bringing us Fubo here at 11. Well, 11.50, I guess, this morning.
11.50. I mean, it's a whole number Hanover here. You $12 was a resistance, and then 13. So it seems like to move in buck increments. Had a big day yesterday, pretty good volume. The real big volume day was back on October 8th when it got crushed from 12.20 to 10.30. But I would just I don't know. It's kind of tough. I don't know what the hell happened in January 2018 when it went over 120. Maybe that was some kind of mistake or whatever. But
when they're OTC like that, they do some funny things.
If it came back down to 11, it doesn't look like it's going to do it today right now. But old resistance at 11, new support perhaps. Looking at it on the charts.
Yep, definitely one that I'll be looking at long term.